Ṣé àyà rẹ ò mọ Yorùbá rárá? Rárá, a lè sọ ohunkóhun níwájú rẹ̀. Just sign it. It's only a routine family agreement. Ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀, gbogbo ohun yóò jẹ́ tiwa.
I never signed before reading every word.
On the afternoon, Tunde placed a contract in front of her and asked her to sign it without reading. Amina already knew that the document threatened more than just her marriage. It could destroy her reputation, jeopardize the future of the company, and hand her husband and brother-in-law everything. They had been secretly trying to take. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and become part of our community. In the comments, choose the word you believe matters most in this story. Truth, courage, or justice. Golden afternoon light streamed through the panoramic windows of the Adeyemi Group, headquarters on Victoria Island, Lagos. The sunlight reflected across the marble floor, making the executive hallway appear even more imposing. Amina walked toward the boardroom with a folder held against her body. At 34, she had a presence that was difficult to ignore. Her deep, warm brown skin contrasted beautifully with her elegant emerald green dress. Her long black frontal lace wig fell in soft waves over her shoulders. Her posture was firm, although the way she held the folder revealed that she was prepared to face something unpleasant. Near a glass door, Tunde and Kehinde were speaking quietly. Tunde, Amina's husband, was 43. He wore an immaculate navy blue suit, a neatly trimmed beard, and a watch he often adjusted whenever he wanted to appear calm. Kehinde, his younger brother, was 39 with a shaved head, an elongated face, and a restrained smile that rarely reached his eyes. When they noticed Amina approaching, the two men exchanged a quick glance. Then they switched to Yoruba. "Does she still suspect nothing?" Kehinde asked. Tunde adjusted his watch. "She believes everything I tell her. Once she signs, the responsibility will be in her name." Amina did not change her pace. "And if she decides to read it?" Kehinde insisted. "I know her. She won't want to appear distrustful in front of the family." The brothers smiled. Amina walked past them and opened the boardroom door as though she had not understood a single word. For years, Tunde and Kehinde had believed she could not speak Yoruba. Amina had never corrected them, not because she was afraid, because until a few months earlier, she had never imagined that the secret might protect her from betrayal. Inside the boardroom, a long, dark wooden table occupied the center. 3 contracts rested on its polished surface beside a pen and 2 glasses of water. The arrangement looked carefully, prepared to make the signature quick and unavoidable. Tunde pulled out a chair for his wife. "Sit down. This won't take long." Amina sat without opening her folder. Kehinde remained standing near the window. The city of Lagos stretched behind him, wrapped in the orange glow of sunset. Tunde slid the first document toward her. "It's only an internal agreement. We need to transfer certain administrative responsibilities to the new subsidiary." "What subsidiary?" He gave a light laugh. "Amina, we talked about this. We discussed opening a distribution company. We did not discuss transferring responsibilities." For a moment, his smile lost its natural ease. "It's the same thing. The lawyers have already reviewed everything." Amina placed one hand on the contract, but did not open it. Kehinde leaned toward his brother and spoke in Yoruba. "Make her sign before the old man arrives." Tunde answered in the same language. "She won't make this difficult. She has always wanted to prove that she belongs in this family." Amina raised her eyes. "I never sign a document before reading every word." Tunde stared at her. "You don't trust me?" The question came too quickly. It did not sound like the reaction of an offended husband. It sounded like the strategy of someone trying to stop another person from thinking. Amina pulled the contract closer. "Trusting you does not mean signing something I do not understand." Kehinde placed both hands on the empty chair beside him. "We need to deliver it to the bank early tomorrow." "Then you had plenty of time to send me a copy." "It was a last-minute decision," Tunde replied. Amina opened the document. On the first page, her name appeared as director of the new subsidiary. On the second, a clause stated that she would assume personal responsibility for financial obligations created before the company had even been established. She continued reading. Tunde tapped his fingers against the table. "You can finish it at home." I'll take a copy. Confidential documents cannot leave this room." Amina turned another page. "Then I'll read it here." Kehinde spoke in Yoruba again. "No, she's trying to buy time." Tunde answered, "Let her. Father will be here in 20 minutes. When he asks her to sign, she will." Amina closed the document. "I am not signing today." Tunde pulled the contract back toward himself. "You're turning a formality into a problem." "No, I'm preventing a problem from being disguised as a formality." She stood and picked up her folder. Kehinde partially blocked her path without touching her. "Amina, no one is trying to harm you." She looked at him calmly. Then there should be no reason to rush me." As she left the room, she heard Tunde speaking in Yoruba. "After everything I've done for her, she still thinks she can challenge me." Kehinde replied, "Perhaps we should have chosen someone else." Amina continued walking until she reached the elevator. Only when the doors closed did she allow her hand to tremble. It was not the first time she had heard the brothers talking about her. For nearly 2 years, Tunde and Kehinde had used Yoruba to make jokes, conceal decisions, and discuss matters they considered unsuitable for her presence. At first, Amina pretended not to understand because she did not want to embarrass them. Later, she remained silent because she wanted to discover how far the disloyalty of the man she had married would go. That afternoon, however, she realized that silence was no longer merely a choice. It was her only advantage. Amina had grown up in Enugu in southeastern Nigeria. Her mother, Chiamaka, was a literature teacher. Her father, Emeka, managed a small transportation company that served schools and hospitals. At home, they spoke mainly English and Igbo. Amina's life changed when she was 13, after her father entered a business partnership with an entrepreneur from Abeokuta, and the family spent 2 years living in Ogun State. Amina began attending a school where many students spoke Yoruba during their breaks. In the first few months, she constantly felt one step behind every conversation. She disliked depending on translations, so she asked a neighbor named Mama Yetunde for help. The woman was nearly 60, sold fabrics, and possessed the kind of patience that made every subject feel simple. Every afternoon, Amina sat in her yard and learned new words while helping her organize rolls of Ankara fabric. Mama Yetunde did not teach vocabulary alone. She explained the emotional tone behind expressions, the difference between respect and irony, and how a sentence could sound polite while still carrying contempt. "Learning a language is not about memorizing words," she often said. "It is about understanding what people are trying to hide between them." By the end of 2 years, Amina spoke Yoruba naturally. When the family returned to Enugu, she continued studying on her own. She read newspapers, watched television programs, and called Mama Yetunde every Sunday. Later, at university, she studied business administration and international trade. Her knowledge of several languages became a professional advantage. Although she rarely listed every language she spoke, Amina met Tunde when she was 29, during a conference on infrastructure and logistics in Abuja. At the time, she worked as an operations manager for a regional company. Tunde represented the Adeyemi Group, a conglomerate founded by his father, Chief Bamidele Adeyemi. Tunde approached her after a presentation in which Amina had questioned an expensive project that ignored small local suppliers. "Weren't you afraid of contradicting half the room?" he asked. "I would be more afraid of agreeing with a bad idea, just because it was presented by someone powerful." He laughed. "I need to learn that." Tunde seemed different from the men who tried to impress her with titles. He asked questions about her family, remembered details from their conversations, and showed no discomfort with her professional ambition. For 6 months, they traveled between Lagos and Abuja to see each other. He introduced her to friends and later to his relatives. Chief Bamidele welcomed Amina with direct warmth. He was 71, with dark skin, short white hair, and a deep voice. He had built the company from 3 trucks and a small warehouse. Even after becoming wealthy, he kept the habit of personally reviewing operational reports. "My son says you notice mistakes before everyone else," he commented during their first dinner. "Sometimes I do, Other times, I only ask questions no one wants to answer." The patriarch smiled. "That is often the same thing?" Kehinde was less welcoming. He asked Amina whether she intended to abandon her career after marriage. When she answered no, he changed the subject and spent the rest of the evening observing her. Tunde proposed 8 months later. The wedding took place in Lagos before hundreds of guests. Their families celebrated both Igbo and Yoruba traditions, honoring the backgrounds of both sides. Amina briefly considered responding to greetings in Yoruba, but Tunde had always spoken to her in English and had never asked whether she knew the language. She decided to save the surprise for another moment. That moment never came. During the first weeks of marriage, the family spoke English whenever Amina was present. As the months passed, Kehinde began using Yoruba to make quick remarks to his brother. "Your wife examines every plate as though she's reviewing a financial report," he commented one evening. Tunde laughed. Amina understood, but considered the statement a childish joke. Then the comments became more hurtful. They criticized her accent, her clothing, and the fact that she had not been born in Lagos. They said Tunde could have married a woman from a more influential family. At a party, Kehinde remarked that Amina looked refined, but still thought like an employee. She heard everything. On the drive home, she nearly told Tunde that she understood the language, but he held her hand in the car and spoke about the future he wanted to build beside her. Amina convinced herself that the comments were simply an improper way for the brothers to release their insecurities. She was wrong. 1 year after the wedding, Chief Bamidele invited Amina to work for the Adeyemi group. "I need someone who is not afraid to open the windows when the room becomes stuffy," he said. Amina hesitated. Working for the family company could blur the boundaries between her professional life and her marriage. Tunde urged her to accept. "My father trusts you. This could bring us even closer." She became Director of Operational Efficiency. Within 6 months, she identified duplicate contracts, reduced unnecessary expenses, and developed a program allowing small suppliers to track payments without depending on intermediaries. The results impressed the board. Tunde appeared proud of her in public. At home, he began asking why his father consulted Amina before making certain decisions. "He consults several directors," she replied. "But you are my wife. Some information should reach me first. I cannot violate the confidentiality of my position." Confidentiality between husband and wife? Amina realized that the trust Tunde demanded worked in only one direction. Kehinde also worked for the company. He was director of expansion and supported ambitious projects, many financed through loans. Whenever Amina questioned projections that appeared overly optimistic, he smiled and told her she did not understand how major companies needed to think. During one board meeting, Chief Bamidele rejected the purchase of 2 warehouses recommended by Kehinde after Amina presented inconsistencies in their valuations. That night, she heard the brothers talking on the mansion's veranda. "She is turning father against us," Kehinde said. "That's not what is happening," Tunde replied. "The old man likes people who challenge him." "Then make your wife stop. I cannot order her to appear incompetent." Amina stood on the other side of the door. That was the night she understood that Tunde was not defending her. He was merely calculating whether controlling her might damage his own image. Even then she waited. She believed a marriage deserved an honest conversation before any final decision. 2 days later, she asked Tunde whether he felt threatened by her position in the company. He laughed. "Threatened by you?" The way he said it turned the question into an insult. "I asked because you seem uncomfortable whenever your father values my work. My father values new things, then he becomes bored with them. And you?" Tunde picked up his phone. "I'm tired of this conversation." Amina should have insisted. Instead, she stored the discomfort away and returned to work. Not long afterward, Chief Bamidele suffered a fall at home and needed to stay away from the company for several weeks. The injury was not serious, but the incident worried the family. He decided to review the succession plan. Tunde and Kehinde expected their father to hand the executive presidency to one of them. Instead, the patriarch announced that the board would evaluate every director before making a decision. From that moment, the brothers' behavior changed. Meetings began taking place without Amina. Documents were approved before reaching her department. Employees who had previously cooperated with her began avoiding questions. One afternoon, a financial analyst named Said entered Amina's office carrying a printed spreadsheet. Said was 28, wore short braids tied behind her head, and always spoke carefully. "I need to confirm an authorization." "Which one?" She placed the sheet on the desk. It showed 3 transfers to a company called Meridian Coastal Services. Together, the amounts totaled nearly $2 million. "This supplier is not in our approved register," Amina observed. "It was added as an emergency contractor." "Who approved it?" Said pointed to the digital signature. Tunde's name appeared on the document. "Was the service delivered?" "I could not find any delivery report." Amina asked her not to discuss the matter and began investigating through official, internal channels. She discovered that Meridian Coastal Services had been registered only a few months earlier at the same address as an office used by one of Kehinde's former associates. She could not conclude that fraud had occurred based solely on that connection. She requested contracts, invoices, and delivery records. The files she received were incomplete. When she questioned Tunde, he said it was a confidential project approved by his father. "May I confirm that with him?" "Are you calling your husband a liar?" Once again, the question was used to replace an answer. Amina visited Chief Bamidele. The patriarch was at home, seated in the library with a walking cane resting beside his chair. When he heard the supplier's name, he lifted his face. "I never approved that contract." "Tunde said you did." Chief Bamidele remained still for several seconds. "Did you bring the documents?" Amina handed him the copies. He examined each page slowly. "Do not discuss this with anyone until I understand what happened." "Not even Tunde?" The patriarch raised his eyes. "Especially not Tunde." Amina left the library feeling that she had crossed through a door she could never close again. That same evening, during dinner at the mansion, Kehinde commented in Yoruba. She spoke to father. Tunde gripped his glass more tightly. "How do you know?" "The driver took her there." "Perhaps they discussed something else." Kehinde looked toward Amina, who was speaking with one of the family's aunts. "Do not underestimate your wife." Tunde answered, "I do not underestimate her. I know exactly what she is capable of." Amina nearly turned around. For the first time, she heard fear in his voice. 2 days later, her access password to the financial reports stopped working. The technology department informed her that the restriction had been requested by executive management. Tunde denied involvement. "It must be a security review." "The review affected only my account." Then speak to Kehinde." Kehinde claimed the change had been recommended by external auditors. When Amina asked for the name of the auditing firm, he said he could not remember. She returned to her office and opened a locked drawer. Since the first inconsistencies appeared, she had begun preserving copies of documents she was legally authorized to access. She did not remove protected information or break into anyone's account. She simply retained records linked to decisions passing through her department. Among those documents were different versions of the same contract. In the first, the new subsidiary would be managed by Tunde. In the second, Amina's name had replaced his. The dates showed that the change occurred after the suspicious transfers began. Amina contacted the board's independent legal advisor, Dr. Folake Ogunlaye. The lawyer was 52, wore her short, natural hair close to her head, and listened without interrupting. "I need to know what I'm legally permitted to preserve," Amina said. Folake examined the documents. "Did you receive all of this through your professional duties?" "Yes." "Do not copy anything outside the scope of your position. Do not enter anyone else's account. Do not attempt to provoke a confession. Record when you received every document and who sent it." "What about the recordings of board meetings?" "Formal executive meetings are already recorded by the company's system with the participants' knowledge. Request the files related to meetings you attended. Could they delete them? Folek closed the folder. That is why we need to move quickly. The next morning, Folaki sent an official preservation request to the technology department, covering meeting records, contract versions and approval histories. The request was presented as part of a governance review. Tunde learned about it before the end of the day. When he arrived home, he found Amina in the sitting room reviewing a report. You contacted the board's lawyer. It was not a question. I did, without speaking to me. This concerns company decisions. I'm your husband. And your name appears in documents I cannot explain. Tunde removed his jacket and threw it over a chair. You are allowing my father to come between us. Your father did not alter contracts and place my name on debts I did not create. He stopped. Amina immediately noticed his mistake. Tunde was not supposed to know that she had found earlier versions. Who told you they were altered? He asked. She closed the report. You just confirmed it. Tunde approached but maintained some distance. You do not understand how a company this size works. Then explain it. Certain assets need to be reorganized. The bank requires guarantees. Your name would only be temporary. Without my knowledge, I would have told you later. After I signed, he rubbed his beard. You're making this sound worse than it is. I'm describing exactly what happened. Tunde switched to Yoruba, perhaps out of habit, perhaps to insult her, even while they were alone. A woman can rise too quickly and forget who opened the door for her. Amina looked directly at him. For 1 second, she nearly answered in the same language, but it was not the right moment. I am sleeping in the guest room, she said. Do not turn a work disagreement into a crisis in our marriage. You did that when you tried to use our marriage to obtain my signature. The following morning, Tunde was already gone when Amina came downstairs. A short note on the table said he needed space. Amina needed space as well, but not to reconsider her suspicions. She needed to discover the full scale of the plan. Folek obtained access to the official recordings of 3 meetings. 2 contained only administrative discussions. The 3rd had taken place in a smaller conference room after the main meeting ended. The system had continued recording. Because the session had not been closed correctly, in the recording, Tunde and Kehinde were alone. The audio quality was clear. They spoke in Yoruba. Folek listened without understanding. Amina remained motionless. What are they saying? The lawyer asked. Amina asked her to replay it from the beginning. Kehinde complained that Meridian could not continue receiving payments. After the board review, Tunde said they needed to transfer the contracts to the new subsidiary before their father discovered the full amount of debt. Then Kehinde asked, and Amina? Tunde answered, she signs as director. When the banks demand payment, the documents will show that she supervised everything. She may say she did not know. No one will believe that such a competent woman signed without reading. That is the beauty of the plan. Amina felt her fingers turn cold. Kehinde continued, and if she refuses, father will ask her. She cannot say no to him. The brothers discussed the succession. They believed that when faced with a financial scandal, Chief Bamidele would hand control to his sons in order to protect the family name. The subsidiary would be used to concentrate questionable debts and operations under Amina's name. They were not merely planning to remove her. They wanted to turn her into the perfect scapegoat. Folek stopped the recording. We will need a certified translation. You cannot be the only person interpreting this. I know a Yoruba professor at the university. No, the board will appoint an independent translator. That way no one can claim you influenced the translation. Amina agreed. Do they know the system recorded them? According to the activity history, no. But then they still believe they can deny everything. Folek placed a sealed copy in her briefcase. For now, it is important that they continue believing that. That afternoon, Chief Bamidele summoned Amina for a private conversation. He appeared more exhausted than he had the previous week. Several documents rested on the table. Tunde claims you are attempting to discredit him in order to obtain a more powerful position in the company. Amina sat across from him. Do you believe that? I am asking questions before believing anyone. She presented the contract versions, the transfers, and the denied information requests. She did not mention the recording. Folek had advised her to protect the audio until the independent translation was complete. Chief Bamidel read everything. "Why did you never tell me that you speak Yoruba?" The question surprised Amina. "How did you find out?" Folak informed me that she needed a translation of a conversation. She did not reveal the content. Amina rested her hands in her lap. "I never thought it mattered. Later, I realized your sons spoke in front of me because they believed I could not understand." And you listened?" "For almost 2 years." The patriarch leaned back. "What did they say about me?" Amina could have used that moment to hurt him with every cruel remark. Instead, she told him only what was necessary. They often disagreed with your decisions. Sometimes they said you were too old to continue leading." Chief Bamidel ran his fingers along his walking cane. "That does not surprise me. The rest may." She explained the plan to blame her without repeating personal insults. That did not change the facts. The patriarch stood with difficulty and walked toward the window. "I built this company so my children would never face the hardship I faced. Perhaps I confused opportunity with entitlement. You are not responsible for their choices. A father always searches for the part of the blame that belongs to him." Amina did not answer. He turned toward her. "I want to call the board immediately." "Not yet. Why?" Because they will deny everything. They may claim the documents were misunderstood. We need to complete the verification, protect the employees involved, and prevent further transfers." Chief Bamidel studied her for a long moment. "You are protecting the company, even though my sons attempted to destroy your reputation. I am protecting the people who depend on it. As for your sons, I only want them to answer for what they have done." The patriarch nodded. "Do what is necessary within the law and the board's rules." Over the following days, Amina worked with Folaki and 2 independent auditors. Said provided the records she had, identified and explained how certain approvals had been inserted outside the normal process. Another employee, the digital records administrator, confirmed that Kehinde had asked him to replace pages in a contract that had already been reviewed. He had preserved the history because company policy prevented the deletion of previous versions. The evidence began forming a clear sequence. First, Tunde and Kehinde hired Meridian Coastal Services without proper authorization. Then they transferred company resources to projects with no complete delivery records. When they realized Chief Bamidel intended to review the succession, they prepared a subsidiary to absorb the obligations. Finally, they altered the documents to place Amina in charge. They still needed to discover where some of the money had gone. The auditors traced payments to the renovation of a coastal property, described as a warehouse. Photographs showed a luxury development under construction with no connection to company operations. Kehinde intended to transform it into a private resort after becoming president. Tunde had financed the project because he believed future profits would compensate for the temporary diversion of funds. In the brothers' minds, they were not stealing from the family. They were simply taking early possession of wealth they believed already belonged to them. That justification made their decisions even more dangerous. They did not see themselves as criminals. They saw themselves as impatient heirs. Amina continued living in the same house as Tunde during the investigation. Although they slept in separate rooms, he alternated between kindness and pressure. Some evenings, he left flowers in the kitchen. On others, he reminded her that her family might face humiliation if the marriage ended in a public scandal. "We can solve this together," he said one evening. "Solve what?" "The distrust. Distrust did not transfer the money. You do not understand the pressure my father places on us." Amina closed the book she had been reading. "Then explain why you put my name on the contract." "To protect you." "From what?" Tunde did not answer. "Every time you avoid that question, the answer becomes clearer," she continued. "He sat on the opposite side of the room. When we met, you were not like this. When we met, I believed you respected me. I did respect you. In the past tense? Tunde realized what he had said and tried to correct himself. I still respect you, but you began acting as though you were better than all of us. Amina stood. I did not need to be better. I only needed to refuse to participate in what you did. A few days before the board meeting, Tunde and Kehinde decided to attack first. They sent the other directors a report accusing Amina of exceeding her authority, accessing information without permission, and influencing Chief Bamidele against his own sons. They also claimed that she intended to gain control of the company through her marriage. The allegations spread through the organization. Employees began watching her in the hallways. An economic newspaper received anonymous information about a family dispute within the Adeyemi group. Amina was temporarily suspended until the extraordinary meeting. Tunde returned home that night with an almost satisfied calmness. I did not want it to come to this. Amina placed clothing inside a suitcase. Of course you did. My father needs to understand that you are not impartial. And to prove that, you spread accusations you know are false. The board will decide. Yes, it will. Tunde looked at the suitcase. Are you leaving? I'll stay with a friend until the meeting. People will misunderstand. For once, I am not arranging my life around other people's interpretations. He stepped closer. We can still save our marriage. Amina closed the zipper. You tried to place fraud in my name. I would never allow anything to happen to you. It already happened. Tunde touched his wedding ring. I love you. Amina removed her own ring and placed it on the table. Perhaps you love the version of me who trusted you without asking questions.
She picked up the suitcase and left.
At her friend's home, Amina experienced her first peaceful night in months. Not because the situation had been resolved, but because she no longer needed to pretend that there was still a home where only surveillance remained. The next morning, she received a call from her mother. Chiamaka had heard rumors about the conflict. Do you need me to come to Lagos? Amina rested her head against the wall. Not yet. Are you safe? I am. And your marriage? Amina took time before answering. I think it ended before I realized it. Her mother did not try to comfort her with easy phrases. Then do not grieve only for the man you lost. Grieve for the life you imagined as well. Afterward, stand up and decide what still belongs to you. Amina spent the rest of the day reviewing the presentation for the board. She did not want to turn the meeting into a performance of revenge. Every allegation needed to be connected to a document, date, or verifiable testimony. Volake organized the evidence into 4 categories: unauthorized contracts, financial transfers, altered documents, and the attempt to place responsibility on Amina. The recording would be presented last. They will probably try to interrupt us, the lawyer warned. Then let the documents speak before I do. The extraordinary meeting was held on a Friday at Chief Bamidele's mansion. The patriarch preferred receiving the directors at home because he still had difficulty walking long distances. The main sitting room had been arranged like a small board chamber. 12 people occupied chairs around the table. There were 3 independent representatives, 2 lawyers, the auditors, Chief Bamidele, Tunde, Kehinde, Amina, and 2 longtime company directors. Tunde entered confidently. He wore a black suit and greeted every member of the board. Kehinde carried a thick folder containing the report prepared against Amina. When she arrived, the conversations became quieter. Amina wore a navy blue suit, and her wavy hair was partially pinned behind her head. She did not attempt to appear fragile or triumphant. She sat across from the brothers. Chief Bamidele opened the meeting. We are here because serious accusations have arisen involving the company's management and members of my family. From this moment forward, no one will speak without presenting facts. Kehinde asked to speak first. For nearly 15 minutes, he described Amina as an ambitious professional who had used her access to the family to gain influence. He said she requested documents outside her department and created suspicion in order to weaken the natural heirs. My sister-in-law expects this board to believe that everyone is wrong except her, he concluded. Amina did not react. Tunde spoke next. This is a painful situation for me. I love my wife, but I cannot allow personal issues to damage my father's legacy. Amina recognized the strategy. Tunde was not attacking her as a husband. He was presenting himself as a man divided between love and responsibility. When he finished, Chief Bamidel looked at Folak. Present the records. The lawyer distributed the different versions of the first contract. The document on the left was reviewed by the legal department on March 4th. The one on the right was sent for signature on March 18th. Please observe the name of the responsible director. The board members compared the pages. Tunde's name appeared in the first version. Amina's appeared in the second. Kehinde leaned forward. Administrative changes are normal. Folake presented the digital history. This change was requested through your account at 10:13 in the evening on March 17th. My staff have access. The request required your personal authentication. Kehinde leaned back. The auditor presented the transfers to Meridian Coastal Services. He explained that the company had no operational history consistent with the amounts it received. Tunde interrupted. The project was still being developed. Why did the payments finance a leisure property? One board member asked. Kehinde opened his folder. The property was going to be adapted. The auditor projected blueprints, photographs, and messages sent to the architect. The plans included pools, guest cottages, and entertainment spaces. There were no logistics facilities. Chief Bamidel kept his face still. Who authorized this? Tunde answered, it was a strategic investment. With company money and without board approval, and I intended to present it once it was further developed. The patriarch tapped his fingers lightly against the table. Money taken in secret does not become legitimate because someone intends to explain it later. Said was called into the room. She described how she had found the payments and approached Amina. Her voice trembled at first, but became steadier as she presented the dates. Kehinde attempted to discredit her. You were promoted by Amina, were you not? I was recommended by 3 managers, but she supported you. Said looked directly at him. Supporting my work does not change the numbers. One of the board members instructed Kehinde to stop interrupting. Then came the history of the altered documents. The digital records administrator confirmed that he had received instructions to replace pages and keep only the final version available to the other departments. Who gave you that instruction? Folek asked. The employee pointed toward Kehinde. Mr. Kehinde, that is a lie, Kehinde said. The man opened a printed email. It contained the instruction and Kehinde's electronic signature. The brother-in-law's confidence began to disappear. Tunde, however, maintained his posture. Even if procedural errors occurred, nothing proves that we intended to blame Amina. Folek looked at him. Are you certain you wish to maintain that statement? Oh, absolutely. The lawyer signaled to the technician. The recording from the conference room began playing. First came the sound of chairs and papers. Then Tunde and Kehinde's voices filled the room. They were speaking Yoruba. Some board members understood immediately. Others followed the certified translation projected onto the wall. She will sign as director, Tunde's recorded voice said. When the banks demand payment, the documents will show that she supervised everything. Kehinde's voice asked. She may say she did not know. Tunde laughed. No one will believe that such a competent woman signed without reading. That is the beauty of the plan. No one in the room moved. The recording continued. The brothers discussed how they would pressure Chief Bamidel, how they would use Amina's trust, and how they would present the losses as the result of her management. When the audio ended, Tunde looked at his wife. That was taken out of context. Amina spoke for the first time since the meeting began. In perfect Yoruba, which part requires context? The part where you placed my name on the document, or the part where you planned to use my competence against me? Tunde remained frozen. Kehinde's face lost its color. Amina continued in the same language, her voice firm and pronunciation natural. For 2 years you spoke in front of me as though I were not present. You mocked my background, my family, and my work. I tolerated more than I should have, because I still wanted to believe that the man I married was different when no one was watching. She switched to English so everyone could follow without translation. I discovered that he was at his worst precisely when he believed I could not understand him. Tunde placed both hands on the table. Since when do you speak Yoruba? Since I was 13. Then you deceived us all this time? Amina looked directly at him, not listing every language. I speak did not give you permission to humiliate me or commit fraud. You are not being held responsible because I understood you. You are being held responsible for what you chose to say and do. Kehinde stood. She planned this. She provoked those conversations. Folake answered, the recording belongs to the company's official system. You remained in a recorded meeting room and discussed the plan voluntarily. We did not authorize its use. Every director signed the recording and preservation policy. Kehinde looked at his father. Are you going to believe her instead of your own sons? Chief Bamidele took time before responding. I do not need to choose whom to believe. The documents, payments, records, and your own voices all agree. Tunde pointed toward Amina. She wants to take our place. Amina opened the folder she had brought. This is my resignation letter from the Adeyemi group. Effective after the audit is completed. Everyone looked at her. I do not want the presidency, she continued. I do not want shares as a reward. And I do not want to build my future on anyone's downfall. I want my name removed from every altered document, and I want every employee you pressured to be protected. Tunde appeared to lose his final defense. You are destroying our family over nothing. Amina placed the letter on the table. I am not the one who treated this family like a hiding place for dishonest decisions. Chief Bamidele instructed the brothers to leave while the board deliberated. Kehinde initially refused, but the lawyers insisted. Tunde remained seated for several seconds, looking at Amina as though he expected her to change her mind. She did not. After they left, the patriarch covered his face with one hand. Amina felt sorry for him, but she did not confuse sympathy with responsibility. The board voted to suspend Tunde and Kehinde immediately. A full audit would begin, and the findings would be submitted to the relevant authorities and financial institutions. Assets connected to Meridian would be frozen through the available legal procedures. Amina was officially cleared of the internal accusations. The board acknowledged that she had refused to sign the contract and that her name had been inserted without her consent. Chief Bamidele asked her to remain at the company. Not as my daughter-in-law, he said. As the professional who protected thousands of jobs. Amina thanked him but maintained her resignation. I need to discover who I am outside this family. He nodded, although disappointment crossed his face. I understand. When she left the mansion, Tunde was waiting near the gate. The driver stood several meters away, providing privacy without abandoning her. Can we talk? Tunde asked. For a few minutes. He looked smaller without the protection of the boardroom and the family name. His tie was loose. The watch he constantly adjusted remained motionless on his wrist. I never intended for you to carry the blame forever. Amina nearly smiled at the absurd attempt at reassurance. How long would have been acceptable? I would have fixed everything before then. You no longer controlled the situation. I was trying to protect the family's future. You protected a secret resort. Tunde rubbed his beard. Kehinde pressured me. The project was his idea, but your voice was on the recording. I made mistakes. They were not mistakes. They were repeated decisions. He looked toward the ground. I still love you. Perhaps that is true for you. Tunde raised his face. Does it mean nothing? It means love can exist without respect. It simply is not enough for a marriage. Give me a chance to make things right. Amina looked at the man for whom she had left Abuja, changed jobs and trusted with a shared future. Part of her wanted to return to the beginning and find the Tunde, who had asked sincere questions after conferences. But perhaps that man had never existed completely. Making things right does not begin with me, she said. It begins with taking responsibility for what you did without blaming your brother, your father, or the pressure of the family. She entered the car. Tunde did not try to stop her. In the following weeks, the case became public because of the company's financial disclosure obligations. The Adeyemi Group released a statement confirming internal irregularities and promising full cooperation with the investigations. Tunde and Kehinde lost their positions. Some of the assets connected to the development were sold to recover the company's money. The legal proceedings continued for months, without miraculous solutions or instant punishment. Chief Bamidele created an independent committee to prevent family decisions from controlling corporate governance again. For the first time, relatives would no longer automatically receive the company's highest positions. Said was promoted to a financial supervisory role. The digital records employee kept his position and received protection from retaliation. Amina rented an apartment in Ikoyi and began divorce proceedings. During the first nights, the peace felt unfamiliar. She still woke expecting to hear Tunde speaking on the phone in the hallway. Sometimes she picked up her phone intending to send him a message and only then remembered why she had left. She was not ashamed of missing him. Missing someone did not make that person a safe choice. Chamaka spent 2 weeks with her daughter. She did not organize interrogations or insult. Tunde, she helped Amina choose curtains, prepared meals, and filled the apartment with her quiet presence. One morning, she found the wedding ring stored inside a box. You still cannot get rid of it? I do not know whether I need to. Her mother closed the box. You do not have to destroy everything that reminds you of a painful chapter. Some things stop being promises and become evidence that you survived. Amina placed the box on the highest shelf of the wardrobe. After formally leaving the Adeyemi Group, she received offers from several companies. She refused the first ones. She did not want to enter another boardroom immediately and spend her days repairing crises created by men who confused authority with ownership. During that period, she reconnected with Neka, a university friend who managed an association for women entrepreneurs. Many participants owned small businesses but signed contracts without understanding loan clauses, guarantees, and partnership agreements. Some had lost their companies after trusting relatives or business partners. Amina began offering monthly workshops on management, negotiation, and document review. She did not provide legal advice. She taught participants how to recognize when they needed professional help, how to ask questions, and why they should never sign something under emotional pressure. 12 women attended the first workshop. 3 months later, more than 100 had expressed interest. Amina created a consulting company called Multiple Voices. The name came from a memory of Mama Yetunde, the neighbor who had taught her Yoruba. She used to say that understanding another language meant recognizing that no truth should depend on only one voice. The consultancy helped small businesses develop internal controls, evaluate partnerships, and build transparent procedures. Amina hired Said as a part-time consultant with permission from the Adeyemi Group's new board. 1 year after the meeting, Chief Bamidele visited the new office. Amina received him in a bright room with wooden shelves and photographs of women who had expanded their businesses after attending the workshops. The patriarch walked more easily, although he still used his cane. "Your office has more life than our boardroom," he commented. "That is because no one here needs to pretend they know everything." He smiled. "Tunde asked me to give you a letter." Amina did not immediately reach for it. "Did you read it?" "No." "Is he all right?" "He is learning to live without the position he believed was his identity." Chief Bamidele placed the envelope on the table. "I did not come to ask you to forgive him. I have forgiven him enough not to organize my life around anger." "Does that mean you will read it?" Amina looked at the letter. "Perhaps." The patriarch walked toward a photograph on the wall. In it, Amina stood beside a group of young businesswomen. "For a long time, I believed my legacy would be the company's name," he said. "Now I think legacy is the behavior that continues after we have left the room. You can still change what continues," he nodded. Before leaving, he handed Amina a small box. Inside was a piece of old blue and gold fabric. "I found this among my wife's belongings. She bought it in Abeokuta many years ago. I thought you might use it here." Amina touched the fabric. It is beautiful. Some things belong more to the future than to the place where they were stored. After he left, Amina opened Tunde's letter. There were no dramatic requests or promises that everything could return to the way it had been. He admitted that he had spent years believing Amina's love meant she would protect him from consequences. He wrote that he still struggled to accept his responsibility, but he had begun to understand that Kehinde had not forced him to participate. He had chosen every signature, every lie and every silence. At the end, he did not ask for reconciliation. He apologized. Amina folded the letter and stored it. She did not respond that day. Months later, she sent only one message. "I hope you continue accepting the truth, even when no one is listening." Tunde replied, "That is what I am trying to learn." The conversation ended there. 2 years after the brothers' downfall, multiple voices opened a training center in Lagos. The main room was named after Mama Yetunde, who traveled from Abeokuta for the ceremony. The woman was now in her 70s, but still had the same attentive eyes. When she saw Amina, she held her face between both hands. So learning the language of that noisy girl who used to help me sell fabric was useful after all. Amina laughed. "More useful than you ever imagined." "I imagined quite a lot." During the opening ceremony, young entrepreneurs presented projects in food, transportation, fashion, technology, and education. There was no excessive luxury. There were tables, computers, shelves, and people asking questions without being afraid of appearing inexperienced. Amina walked to the front of the room. She wore a simple, elegant white outfit. Her hair was arranged in a low bun. She carried no evidence folders and no longer needed to prove anything about the past. She spoke about contracts, trust, and responsibility. She never mentioned Tunde or Kehinde by name. At the end, a young woman raised her hand. "How can we know when we should trust someone?" Amina thought before answering. "Trust does not mean closing your eyes. It means being able to keep them open without the other person feeling threatened. Anyone who demands that you stop asking questions is not asking for trust. They are asking for access without responsibility." Mama Yetunde smiled from the front row. After the ceremony, Amina remained alone for a few minutes. The sun was approaching the horizon, illuminating the center's windows with the same golden light that had filled the office on the afternoon. She refused to sign the contract. On that day, Amina had believed silence was the only way to protect herself. Now she understood something different. Silence had given her time to observe, gather evidence, and choose the right moment. But her true transformation happened when she decided to speak, even though she knew it might cost her the marriage, her position, and the family she had once believed she belonged to. She did not win because she spoke Yoruba. She won because she refused to use what she knew merely to hurt others. She transformed knowledge into evidence, evidence into justice, and justice into a new purpose. Near the door, one of the students asked whether Amina was leaving. She looked around the room filled with chairs, projects, and voices. "Not yet. We still have work to finish." The young woman smiled and returned to the table. Amina followed her. For a long time, Tunde and Kehinde believed Amina's silence meant ignorance. They discovered too late that she had understood every word. But what truly defeated them was not the language she understood. It was the choices they made, when they believed they would never have to answer for them. And Amina's greatest victory did not occur on the day she spoke before the board. It happened when she built a life in which she never again had to remain silent in order to be accepted. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and follow the next stories from our community. In the comments, write one word that represents Amina's transformation.